Live, what it do? um, Gonna give it a second for everyone else here to jump on. But today, what I want to talk about is with obviously, interest rates are talking about coming down. But what I want to talk about is even no matter where the interest rates are, is how to still have your rental properties cash flow. I was on a call earlier today and had some pretty good questions around it. So I'm going to break down how I'm financing a lot of my rental properties in today's market. So we'll give it a second for people to jump on here, and then we'll get things rolling. What's up, Edwin? Matt, Jack, Samantha, Elizabeth, Brittany. What's up? What's up? Appreciate y'all coming on here. Wednesday night, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we're live. So like I said, what I want to talk about today is there's a lot of questions, and I if anybody knows how to do this, I sat here and I Googled how to make cameras like invert because they're like backwards right now. So I was going to do this on a whiteboard, but I don't know how to flip my cameras, so I I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I'm just gonna have to talk and explain it to you. But if anybody knows how to invert a camera when it's live, message me please, because I need help. I need to figure out how to do that. So essentially, what I do a lot is I find deals, I raise money, and I flip them or I keep them as a rental property through using the BRRRR method: buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat. Or I can help wholesale it, right? You got to have different tools in your tool belt to be able to be truly successful inside of real estate. So my biggest strategy right now, personally, I flipped a couple hundred houses, wholesaled probably 100 and some houses, and own 100 plus rental properties still today. So doing the BRRRR method, the problem is right now is with interest rates so high, and yes, I know they're coming down slightly, but with interest rates so high, and I don't know about you, but in the county that I buy real estate in, taxes just like doubled or tripled. I know a lot of other areas are doing the same thing, and insurance is going through the roof. So your expenses are going higher. They're going up and up and up and up, which means your cash flow is going down and down and down and down. So to be able to continue to buy rental properties, because wealth is through ownership, you have to own rental properties, you have to own real estate to grow, to be able to build wealth for the future. You got to be able to still buy rental properties. So how can you decrease your expenses to increase your cash flow? That's the big question, because interest rates are high, home prices are high, taxes are high, and insurance is high. So once you pay all that, how's there still money left over for you in profit? So the strategy that I'm using, and again, I wanted to do this on a whiteboard, but I couldn't figure out how to flip the camera. I'm using a strategy for loans called DSCR IO, interest only loans. And what this looks like is, I'm just going to use super round numbers here. Let's say I buy a house for $100,000, and then I'm putting $40,000 into the rehab. So I borrow $140,000, and then I buy it, renovate it, rent it, and then I take it to a bank to do a refinance. And then let's say that house is worth $200,000. So the bank will give me a 75% cash out. So they'll give me back $150,000. And I'm going to take that 150 grand, pay off my 140 that I borrowed, plus my, $6,000 in interest that I owe them, plus all the closing fees and title fees and all that stuff. So I'll owe right about 150 grand. So on the refinance of this deal, that's the structure: buy, renovate, rent, refinance. On the refinance, the type of loan that I'm using is called a DSCR IO, DSCR interest only. And the reason for that is because when you pay your mortgage payment, it's on what's called an amortization schedule. And what that means is most loans are amortized over 30 years. Some are 20 or 25, which means you make your monthly mortgage payment for the next 20, 25, 30 years. And eventually these houses are going to be paid off. Now, when you do that, you're making interest and principal investments. You're making both principal and interest payments. So if you're doing IO, interest only, you're only making interest payments. You're not making principal payments. So you'll technically never pay off a property over the next 20, 25, 30 years because you're not making principal payments. And I know that's like, might scare people. And I don't necessarily like the strategy. I don't like not being able to pay off properties ASAP. But here's why I'm doing it, because the deals that I'm buying, let's say the cash flow is a little bit tighter than maybe what I wanted it to be. And the way that I can bring down my expenses is by doing interest only. So if my mortgage payment would have been, let's say $1,000 a month, my principal and interest would have been $1,000 a month, and I do interest only instead of amortizing. Now my payment might be, $850 or $900 a month. So it's $100 to $150 a month in additional profit. I know that doesn't sound big, but when you start owning a large portfolio, it can get big. And let's say rents drop 5-10%, that's your profit margin now. So I'm using interest only loans that are locked rates for 30 years, but they're interest only for 10 years. So the first 10 years they're interest only, and then years 11 to 30, they then amortize over that last 11 to 30 years. So let me pull up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to even show that. I don't know how to show my screen on this thing, but they'll amortize over the last 20 years. So you're 11 to 30, they're then amortizing loans. So the way that I look at it, I'm locked in at this interest rate for the next 30 years. And in 30 years, it'll still be paid off because it'll amortize the last 20. And the risk is, to me, there's essentially no risk, right? Because you increase your cash flow day one. You have interest only for 10 years. So my strategy at some point in the next 2 to 10 years, I'm going to refinance every deal that I'm doing when rates drop and then put them on quote unquote amortizing debt, right? So at some point, I'm definitely going to do that. And I think at some point in the next 2 to 10 years, rates are going to come down. But let's say I'm wrong. Let's say they don't. Let's say rates stay where they're at or higher over the next 10 years. Come year 11, my payment, like I said, of $900-ish a month will then have to be amortized for 20 years. So my payment might go from $900 a month to $1,200 a month or $1,300 a month. So my payment will increase years 21 to 30 or years 11 to 30. But guess what's also going to happen over the next 10 years? Rents are going to increase. So my mortgage payment might increase, $300-$400, but my rent is going to increase $500, $1,000, $1,500. So I'm still positive cash flow when it's all said and done at the end of the day, no matter what happens to the market. So I'm locked in at today's interest rate, but I get the benefit of additional cash flow today, and then I get the security of it still paying off in 30 years. So I know that was a lot, and it's hard to explain without a whiteboard. But if you got any questions about that, let me know. If you want to know the lender that I'm using, comment the word interest payments. Comment the word interest payments to do the DSCR interest only loans. And I'll connect you and I'll send that information over to you. So that's one strategy that I'm using in today's market to still be able to buy rental properties and make them cash flow, even with higher interest rates, higher taxes, higher insurance, et cetera, et cetera. So that's something you're interested in. Comment the word interest payments. But want to open it up to Q&A. Answer any questions we got about business, finance, real estate. Let's get some questions rolling. So drop a question in the chat section. I saw a few drop in here earlier. I'm gonna slide up and see if I can find it. But drop your question in the meantime, and I'll get to it here momentarily. It's a lot of scrolling up. Who's the woman in the picture behind you? That is my beautiful wife, Pamela. Shout out to her. Do they have a prepayment penalty? They have a 3-2-1 prepay. So that's why I said sometime in the next 2 to 10 years, year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's when I plan to do the refinance. Do you have to have good credit before contacting a private lender? Absolutely not. Private lender won't even ask you about your credit. It's entirely different. If I was to hire a contracting company, what document / signed document should I request from them? when you hire a general, so there's five documents that we use when we hire a general contracting company. It's called an independent contractor agreement. So they know that they're independent contractors in the scope and how much they're getting paid. We have a scope of work, which details the scope of the job. We have a draw schedule with details how and when they're going to get paid. We have a lien release that releases our liability when we pay them. And we have a W-9 as well. And the W-9 is so we can tell the IRS that we can take a write-off on that. So those are documents that we use. I highly recommend people using those. But the contractors are usually not going to give you those documents. You typically have to give them those documents. Are you personally guaranteeing your real estate? Yes, I am. Do they consider your FICO on DSCR refis? They do consider the FICO, which is your credit score. But worst case scenario, you'll just pay a little bit higher interest rate. So it doesn't make or break the deal. It just determines the interest rate that you're going to get. Are there any points? No. So that's a big thing. A lot of DSCR lenders charge 1, 2, even 3 points. The guys that I use don't charge any points. They have an underwriting fee of, I think, $900 and a processing fee of like $400. So it's $1,300. That's it. There's no other junk fees. That's what we do. So again, common interest payments, and I'll send that to you. How do you go about finding deals when you're not in the same state you're purchasing in? Do your own marketing. Go direct to the seller and do your own marketing, or hang out in the Facebook groups. When you hang out in the Facebook groups, you can get a lot of deal flow from that as well. Do you use business credit for down payment on investment property? And website you use to check rental comps in the area you're buying investment property. So the website I use to check rental comps is just Zillow. So Zillow.com or rentometer.com, rentometer.com. And do you use business credit for down payment or investment property? I don't. I never have, because I like to raise private money. But it's absolutely something that can be done. We've helped a lot of people do that. So it's just another way of accessing money. How do you structure your portfolio after the first couple properties? Are they all put in your business names with cash out refinances? Yes, they're all in LLCs. I have like a mother company and then a whole bunch of sub entities that own all the properties. Thanks for the info, brother. Hopefully all's well, Edwin. We'll see you next time you're in town. How do you find private lenders? This is the golden ticket. This is what a lot of people struggle with, but it can change your life and it can change your business. When you're able to raise money, it's an absolute game changer, because you can go out and you can buy any house that you want because it's not your money. So where do you find private money lenders? It's the answer is they're literally everywhere. Private money lenders are literally everywhere. Every single person you meet can potentially become a private money lender. I try to raise money from everybody that I meet. But the variable is one, you have to understand private money. And two, you have to be able to flow the conversation in a manner that intrigues them about the opportunity to invest with you. So you got to believe it here that you're giving somebody an opportunity of a lifetime to invest with you, which you are, because if you break it down, all the benefits that come with it, it's an opportunity of a lifetime, 1,000% guaranteed. And you got to be able to have a conversation with them in a manner that they can understand that, right? I've been able to raise $25 million plus in private money, and I've never pitched it. I've never sent out marketing. I've never put out direct mail. These are just everyday conversations that I have with people, at the bank, in the elevator, walking down the street, at the bar, at the restaurant, at a networking event, at a family reunion, like just everyday conversations that you have. You just have to be able to steer the conversations in the manner to extract the information that you need to hear to then tell them why they need to lend to you and invest with you. So private money is a game changer. If you want to learn private money top to bottom, it's literally $27. If anybody in here has the private money course, drop a comment. Let us know if it's valuable. It's $27. You get all the contracts that you'll need. You'll get credibility packets, scripts, 14 hours of content, live calls with me and my lenders talking about private money so you can understand how the conversations work. and even new lenders. Like it's me telling lenders why they need to invest with me. But if you want that info, comment the word OPM or the letters OPM, other people's money, OPM, and I'll send you that information. Are you taking on mentees? Yes, we are. Again, comment the word elevate below if you're interested in the coaching program and want my help building wealth in real estate. Do you run all your properties that you're flipping and selling through your holding company? I have two entities, flipping companies on one side, holding companies on the other side. How much do you cash flow every month? We have 130-ish rentals, so a little over 150,000 a month. How do I get these docs in your PML course? Comment the word OPM. What percentage do they give to fund the deal? I pay them usually 10%, anywhere from 8 to 12%, but they have no equity in the deal. They don't have equity in the deal because if I make money, they get paid the same amount. If I lose money, they get paid the same amount. They make money no matter what happens to the deal. So using PML, there's no monthly payments if the PML agree to be paid on the back end. Yes. So when we borrow money, we don't make monthly mortgage payments, interest payments. We let all the interest accrue until the payoff. So if we borrow 140, when we sell the house or refinance the house, we'll pay them back the 140 plus their interest all at one time. What kind of questions we should ask from lenders? I'll just do like a very, very quick role play. You're talking with somebody, out and about, and they say, "What do you do?" And again, you got to be intriguing, right? So like, hey, I'm a real estate developer and I actually teach other people how to invest their money into real estate. Oh, for real? How do you teach other people? That sounds interesting. Yeah, we borrow money from people just like yourself, secured by real estate, potentially paying a double-digit return. We teach them how to grow their money with a consistent, stable income. They're like, whoa, wow. Tell me more about that. What do you mean consistent and stable? Where's your money at right now? Or do you got money in the stock market? Where do you have money invested? Yeah, I got money in the stock market. Yeah, a lot of people have money in the stock market. A couple years ago when the market crashed, a lot of people got hurt by that. How are your investments doing? What type of return are you making? Well, we got hurt. It's bounced back a little bit. We're doing pretty well now. Okay, well, how much are you making on average per year over year? Are you making 5%, 10%? Well, we're making probably 7-ish%. Okay. Do you like that? Do you like the volatility, of the market? Or, are you looking for something that's, consistently paying you every single month? Do you want consistency or do you like the volatility? No, my wife and I, we just retired. I'd love to have, consistent, $3, $5, $10,000 a month coming in. That would relieve a lot of stress and anxiety. Man, that's amazing because that's literally what we've helped people do is build retirement and lifestyles off a consistent income that we can pay. So I'd love to tell you a little bit more about the opportunity to invest with us. Can I get your name, your number? Can we schedule another appointment? So we can help you get that consistent return and avoid the fluctuation, the volatility in the stock market. So I didn't pitch them. I didn't tell them, hey, I'll pay you 12%. I didn't say, hey, this is the greatest investment of all time. This is why you need to do it. I didn't say any of those things. I had a conversation with them. I listened to what they said. I extracted the information that they wanted, consistent cash flow, and I gave them an opportunity to get that. So again, these conversations can be 1,000 different ways. That's just one example of how to flow that conversation correctly, because I've done it the wrong way. I've talked with people and they're like, yeah, I got some money. Cool. You want to invest with me? I'll pay 12%. They're like, no, scammer. You know what I mean? So like, I've done that and it doesn't work. You have to flow the conversation the right way to extract the proper information that you need. Do you plan on holding most of your properties until you're paid off? That's my plan right now. Yes. Things change, but that's definitely the plan now. Damn, I'm sold. Shut up and take my money. I'm telling you, like when you can have the conversation the right way, people have a burning desire to lend you money. Like I had a meeting. I had a private money lender, and then she brought in her 3 friends to a meeting. She called me one day. She's like, hey, I love how this has been going. This is amazing. It's helped me in retirement. I have 3 friends too that I've kind of told them a little bit about what you do. Would you like to meet with them? I was like, absolutely, I'd like to meet with them. And I explained, had a conversation about private money. And like literally the next day, they were moving money from their retirement accounts into self-directed IRAs to invest with me the next day. Because when you know how to explain it, like it's an opportunity for them to invest. The reason I think it's easy for me to raise money is because the way I look at it, if I had the cure to cancer and somebody was standing in front of me dying because they had cancer, I would tell them the cure. Like, obviously, yes. I want to say, like, yes, here, do this, problem solved. That's how I feel with like private money. Like, I feel like I can help people. And if I don't help people, then I'm doing them a disservice. And if I feel like that, you can hear that in my tonality, and it's very convincing of why you should invest with me, right? But that only comes through confidence, truly understanding private money. So again, if you want to learn more, comment the word OPM. I'll give you everything I know. It's literally $27. That's it, and it's a game changer. Do you use Key Man Insurance? I will anytime I have partners. Kid with the money, what's up? What other questions we got? What's up, Marcus? What's up, Zumba? Chantel, what up? What up? Our previous fire burnt properties good investments? Yeah, they can be. I'm actually looking at one right now. I'm going to see it tomorrow. Well, my team's going to see it tomorrow. Typically if it's fire damaged, it's selling at a huge discount. So again, we make money by buying deals at discounts, at buying underpriced real estate. So if it's fire damaged and it's at a discount, I'm in. Sign me up. Yo, what's up, Scott? How long does the BRRRR process take? It's there's a couple variables, and the first variable is how big is the project. If you're doing a $300,000 renovation, like that's going to take a lot of time. If you're doing a $20,000 cosmetic renovation, it should take less than a month, probably a couple weeks. So it depends on the scope of the project, and then the next thing is how quickly you can get a tenant into the property. And then it usually takes at least 30 days to actually go through the refinance process. And the last variable is the banks. Banks have seasoning requirements, which means that you have to own the property for X amount of days. Otherwise, they'll only give you a refinance based on your cash invested. So what that looks like is you buy it for 100, you put 40 into it, you're all in for 140, but it's worth 200. If you don't hit the seasoning timeline, then they'll only give you 75% of your investment. So 75% of 140 is like 20. So you're only getting 120 back, but the property is worth 200 grand. So essentially you're getting a 60% loan to value. Terrible. So what you need to do is you need to own the property long enough so then they'll lend you money based on the value, not based on your cost. That's a big thing to understand. Make sure you didn't miss that. The banks I work with have 90-day seasoning requirements. Some people have 6-month or 12-month seasoning requirements, meaning you have to own the property for that long to be able to do the refinance. So it just depends on the lender that you're working with. Is it possible to start if I don't have any money? Yes, absolutely. You don't need money to do this business. It helps. It's ideal, but you absolutely don't need money. I started this business with very, very little money, very little money. And, I've been able to build what I've been able to build, not using my money. Cassandra, what's up? Appreciate that. How do you start wholesaling? You have to, the simplest explanation is you got to find deals. You have to find deals. So you have to market to sellers and find off market deals. That's literally it. People are like, well, I'm not getting deals. Cool. How much marketing are you doing? How many phone calls are you making? How many people are you talking to? Because if you don't talk to people and find sellers, you can't wholesale. 90 days for you who missed it. Yes, the person I use is 90-day seasonings. How soon do you think the market will begin to saturate with buyers/investors with all the talk of lower rates? Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing is like when rates come down, the competition is going to go through the roof. There's going to be so many people back buying real estate because the interest rates are down. Are you currently looking for outside investors? Yes. Shoot me a DM. Would love to talk with you. Or Burbis. Would love it. How much did you start with in real estate, and how much would you recommend to start with? Again, I started maybe with a couple $1,000s, maybe. Um, and my first deal, I raised private money to fund the deal. It was $244,000 purchase and rehab, 244 grand. I raised private money to fund it. I sold it. I paid everybody off, and I made $107,000 in profit. So you don't need your money to do this. I'm starting my own business, about to take out a business loan. Might try to flip homes while I'm at it. If the numbers make sense, do it. OPM, let's get it. Headed back to work. Thanks. Just comment just the letters OPM, or it's not going to send you the information. There can't be anything else in the message. Just the words OPM. Every time I do these lives, I lose my breath. I guess I gotta like run more or something. I'm playing basketball tomorrow, so I'm gonna get my cardio. I'm gonna get my wind up. 100K rehab should typically take around 5 to 6 months. Yeah, that's it. What's up, Trev? Long time no see, bro. Should take 5 to 6 months. Yeah, I mean that's a 3 to 6 months. I think you can get 100K rehab done in 3 to 4 months if you're cranking on all cylinders. If it's your first deal, I would budget like 6 to 8 months. So it depends on what type, and like you got to remember, $100,000 rehab, if $40,000 of it is in concrete, and then the rehab's only 60,000, like that should be a lot less. But like if you're getting the house to the studs, and you're doing new framing, new electrical, new plumbing, new HVAC, changing the floor plan, moving walls, doing an addition, yeah, that's going to take you a lot of time. Like that's just the facts of it. It's going to take you a lot more time. So it depends again on how big the scope of work is. So we don't got too many questions today. I'm curious where the questions at. If y'all ain't got any more, we can wrap it up for today. But if you got some questions here, I got a little bit more time. Which is the best to start, building from the ground or renovating when you have the skills to build? There's no right or wrong answer with that. It's just which opportunity comes first. I've built new construction, and I've also flipped houses. I've also wholesaled houses. So it just depends where your skill set is at and where your opportunity comes from. If your niche is finding land, then yeah, build new construction. Again, just run the numbers to make sure it makes sense in today's market with build costs and interest rates. Are all your properties in the same state? Yeah, everything I own is in Ohio. I mean, I own a house in Florida, but everything else is in Ohio. I'm due for a new car. Should I get a pickup truck? I have no idea. One thing, I never wanted to get a pickup truck. So when I lived in Ohio, that's where my real estate was. I never wanted a truck because then I would force myself to go to the properties to solve problems. If some material needed dropped off, I had a truck, I would do it. If some drywall needed moved, I had a truck, I would do it. If some staging need done, I had a truck, I would do it. So I never bought a pickup truck for that reason, because I wanted to remove myself as much as possible from the business. So what I did is I bought a car. I had a 2004 Toyota Camry at first. Then I bought a 2000 something, 12, 14 something Jaguar XJL. And then I bought a Range Rover, and then I bought a Rolls Royce. But I never bought the truck because I never wanted to have to be the one to go to the house. Best advice for a 21-year-old looking to invest in a property: stop delaying. Stop, questioning it. Stop delaying. Take action right now. The biggest thing everybody always says, including myself, is they wish they would have started sooner, younger. And I wish I would have held on to properties at a younger age. So start ASAP. ASAP, no Rocky. How do you make the decision between flip and hold? For me personally, I'm keeping rental properties because I'm trying to build wealth right now. So every deal that comes in, if it cash flows and I don't have much cash of my money invested, I'm keeping it as a rental property. No questions asked 100% of the time. If it doesn't cash flow or I have too much of my money invested, but it's still a profitable flip, then I'll flip it. But otherwise, I'm keeping it as a rental property because right now, like I'm in wealth growth mode, right? At the beginning of my career, I needed money. So I was flipping everything because I needed cash today. But if you already have revenue coming in, then you can buy more rentals to build more wealth long term. But you also need money today. Where should I look at houses off market? Find your own houses off market. Salute, my bro, Javier. Hope all is well, brother. Are the banks you use in local banks or commercial? So DSCR lenders are nationwide, and then I do use small local community banks for my commercial properties and my apartment buildings, and those are local. Those are local community banks. Is the GC a middleman when doing developing? So developing when you're doing new construction is more referenced as a builder rather than a general contractor. But if the builder actually builds it, yes. If the developer hires the builder and manages it, then the developer is the middleman. On average, how long are your flips sitting on the market for? Now with the interest rates crazy, like 20 to 30 days. Previously, it was like 1 to 7 days. What are the best ways to start learning about real estate, and what books would you recommend? I would get that book right there. Where is it at? That one. It's called Get Free Houses. If you go to howtogetfreehouses.com, that's howtogetfreehouses.com. It teaches you my strategy of buying real estate and talks about raising money. So I'll start there, and then also go to my YouTube channel. Comment the word YouTube. It'll send you my YouTube channel. I've got a plethora of videos on there that can teach you all about real estate. Is it worth to start with hard money? They all seem like scammers. Yeah, hard money is great. There's nothing wrong with hard money. I've done a flip, new construction, working on a rehab now. I have a good amount of capital still to be invested. I'm in upstate New York. What would you recommend I move into next? It depends what you want. Like if you want to start stacking cash, keep flipping. If you want to start building wealth, which is what I think people should do after they have money, buy rental properties. What do you think about the South Florida market, specifically Homestead or the Keys? I personally will not buy down here. Prices are too high. Cash flow sucks. Insurance is insane, but it could work. What do you think about Utica, New York? I've never heard of it, but you can make money in every city in the country. If I invest with you, would you teach me how to go off on my own? Yeah, any lender that invests with me, we share our spreadsheets with you. I shoot a video to explain my thought process on the deal. So absolutely. What's your thoughts about auctions? I bought them from there before. There's nothing right or wrong about it. It's just another lead source. As a mentor, what is realistic for a beginner buying rentals to manage? Burr. I don't know if you mean like how many to manage. Try to rephrase the question, and I'll keep scrolling and get to it. Have you done tax deed purchases? I have not. Would you flip on market or only DSCR, even if you have to put money down? So I would DSCR, even if I have to keep a little bit of money in the deal. It's not a perfect scenario, but if I had, if it's a great rental property, and I had to keep 1, 3, 5, 10, $15,000 into it, but it's amazing rental property, then yeah, I'd keep it as a rental. So again, it all comes down to the actual numbers on the deal. Like that's the big thing that matters. Is like, what are the actual numbers on the deal? Because everybody talks a big game until it's time to like really do this thing. And you got to put up at that point. What other questions we got? I got a few more minutes. If you have a large amount of equity in your rentals, what would be the best advice? You can borrow against it. I'd put a line of credit against it, and then use that money as if it was private money. That's what I would do. What do you think of the 3 major Ohio markets? I invest in Columbus. I love it. I would invest in Cincinnati. I personally staying clear of Cleveland. What are the best ways to make connections? Go to networking events ASAP. How do you feel about North Carolina? I know people that make money, but I don't know anything personally about it. Easy to find renters for your property? Yes, absolutely. A lot of people, are like, well, what if I can't find a tenant? If you have a nice product, price accordingly, it'll rent like that. Is buying your first ever investment property out of state a smart thing to do? It can be. It can be. How would you rank the 3 major Ohio markets? I think Columbus is the best, Cincy's second, Cleveland's third. Do you share your calculator that you use? All my students have the calculator. Yes. What's your reasoning behind staying away from Cleveland? Again, it's not a super educated opinion, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I've never like thoroughly looked at Cleveland, but I know there's a side of Cleveland, or I think all of there's a side east or west, I forget. That's like super rough. And then all of Cleveland, there's sale inspection, city sale inspections or something like that. And it can just be a headache. If you're in the suburbs, I think you're fine. But that's just my 2 cents. What are the usual DSCR interest rates? It's like 8% ish a few weeks ago. So it sounds like rates have came down slightly. So it might even be a little bit less than that. What is the maximum value you recommend for interest when you're looking for a private lender? I don't know what you mean by value. Maybe you might be talking interest rate. I've paid anywhere between 8 and 16% for money. What type of finishes do you improve on in your rentals? Everything. Our rentals are actually better than our flips. Austin's the best freaking coach I ever had. What's up, Luke? We got to connect, man. We got to get dinner. Shoot me a text. We'll connect next week. We'll get dinner next week, man. Bro, thank you for the time. About to refi my first burr. What are some things to look for in a good lender? Absolutely, Howard. How many points are they charging? What's their seasoning time frame? What sort of LTV are they going to give to you on the refinance? What other junk fees do they have? And those are the big ones. Again, if I can connect you with the person that I use, it's a DSCR loan. If you want that connection, comment the word interest payments below, interest payments, and I'll send you the information. Thank you. I appreciate the insight. Absolutely. Just refinance my first $1 million Airbnb. 10,000 gross first month. That's amazing, Tito. Congrats, brother. That's huge. Is it the one on the beach? Is it the 3 unit on the beach? Would you suggest investing with someone at first or buying your own rental? Again, it depends what you want. Like if you want to learn the game and all you want is cash flow, lending money is by far the simplest form of cash flow. It's the best cash flow. It's the most hands off. It's 100% the easiest cash flow you can ever get. If you want more than cash flow and you're willing to deal with some headaches, then owning real estate, you'll get a little bit of cash flow, but you'll get the appreciation, the depreciation, the tenant mortgage buy down, and all those other good benefits. So it just depends what you want and how much time you want to put into it. Appreciate you, Coach Austin. Absolutely, brother. Hiccups and yawning. See, my wife tells me I yawn too much, but I'm not yawning because I'm tired. I'm yawning because I'm trying to get like a deep breath in my lungs. Do your lenders allow transferring the mortgage to an LLC? They'll actually only lend to LLCs. So they'll only lend to LLCs. So you don't even have to transfer it. How do you know if an area is a war zone? Go to Google. How many bird deals is realistic for a student that's new with no money? If you're like dead broke, I would recommend making money first, which is wholesaling houses or flipping houses using other people's money. And then once you make some money, then you can go and you can buy rentals and do the bird method. That's my advice. Yes, sir. 1 mil purchase price, 200K rehab, 3 million on the appraisal. Whoo, buddy. That's a good one, bro. Congrats, man. That's huge. $1.8 million created in equity. Congrats. Big time. Well, how much are you paying in insurance over there? I'm curious about that. How do I find lenders? I've been trying to find some. Again, comment the word OPM. Comment the word OPM, other people's money, and I'll send you everything I know about private money. Dollar signs. If you haven't bought Austin's private money lender course, buy it ASAP. 1,000% worth it. I appreciate that. Thanks, self-paid. So I used to sell my private money course for $1,000. I literally sell it for $27 now. I changed it to $27. So yeah, hit the comment the word OPM and I'll send it to you. Hey, Austin, are you still based out of Columbus? Yep, Columbus, Ohio. 12,000 for insurance paid before close. It's only 12 grand for insurance. That's insane. One thing, Tito, one thing I look at on that, make sure that that's replacement value insurance and not depreciated value insurance. Because if anything does happen, you're oceanfront. So if anything does happen with a hurricane or something, it might only get depreciated value. So definitely, and text me on this if you got more questions on it, but make sure it's replacement value insurance. Also, I want to come see the place. $3 million crib. I want to come. Let me know if you're around late next week. Hey, Austin, are you based out of Columbus? I'm born and raised in Columbus. I live in South Florida. I do all my real estate investing in Columbus, Ohio. Yes. What's your favorite city state? Columbus, Ohio. I bought every course. I love it. I love it. So what's realistic for a person to come in for rehab? I don't know what you mean. Realistic for what? Being that you do so many rentals, do you own your own construction company? No, I hire a general contractor. I thought doing a BRRRR or rehab you can do with OPM. Yes, you can do either of them with OPM. Tito, absolutely. I'll text you. Let's get it. See you soon, bro. Luke said I want to see Tito's place too. Tito, we're gonna have a whole crew show up there. But nah, text me, man. Like I said, we'll love to see it. Do you do any type of in-person seminars? So let me ask you all this. I've been thinking about doing an in-person 1 day, 2 day seminar in South Florida in like February or March sometime. Comment below and let me know if you would come out for an in-person seminar in February or March. I've been thinking about putting it together. I think I'm going to do it, but let me know if that's something that you'd come out to. I just got the private money course, so that I got to tap into. Let's get it. Let's get it. What are your thoughts on dating? I don't know too much about it, but I know people that make money in it for sure. What up, man? I've not seen you in a while. What's up, Will? Hope all's well, bro. Maria is interested. Do it in Florida. I'll be there. March. All right. I'm thinking early March. That's what I'm thinking. West Palm Beach. It'll be South Florida. It'll probably be Fort Lauderdale. I'm there for sure. I'll see you soon, Tito. Are you looking for cleaners on the properties? No, because we don't have any Airbnbs, so we don't need any cleaners right now. Interested? Yes, yes, yes. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. So sounds like there's a meetup conference seminar coming in March. So stay tuned. If you're not, obviously follow me so you can get the updates. And if you go to my, you got to sign up to like my newsletter because I can email you information too. If you go to theaustinrutherford.com, you can sign up for the newsletter so you can get my my emails when they go out too. So, cool. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. Appreciate y'all being here. If you want to learn about private money, comment the word OPM. And if you want to start building wealth in real estate, comment the word elevate below and I'll send you the info. So are you looking into retail land development? Land development, yes. If you have land, if you have any deals whatsoever, land, commercial, single family, multifamily, anything you have in Columbus, Ohio, send it to me because I'm buying all that. But appreciate you all being here. Enjoy your evening. We'll see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And we'll see y'all then. Have a great evening. See you soon. Peace.